You're listening to the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play.
The options market can be a confusing place. Sorting through the daily avalanche of data, alerts, updates, articles, and analysis to find the most important information is an overwhelming prospect. But now you have help. Welcome to the Options News Rundown, the only program that breaks through the noise to bring you the most important news and information from the world of options. Every day we bring you the top 5 option stories curated by the options experts at theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider. And now it's time to break through the noise. It's time for your Options News Rundown.
Good morning. Today is Friday the 13th. This is your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli. Our first story today is from investing.com, and it is the top 5 things to know in the market on Friday. First thing to know is that we got the Trump trade turnaround. U.S. President Donald Trump appears to have shifted gears on trade policies as he told his top economic advisors to study the possibility of re-entering a massive Pacific trade deal, suggesting a turnaround from his prior confrontational stance. The president told Chief Economic Advisor Larry Kudlow and U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer to examine a return to the Trans-Pacific Partnership that Trump abandoned in 2017, according to a White House spokesperson. However, Trump did emphasize late Thursday that rejoining TPP would only be an option if the U.S. received substantially better terms than the previous deal. Second thing to know here today is banks kick off earnings season. Banks will unofficially kick off the first quarter earnings season on Friday as major financial institutions prepare to unveil the effect of tax cuts and increasing interest rates on the bottom line. Overall, expectations are for profits at S&P 500 firms to grow 18.4% in what would be their biggest quarterly profit in 7 years. Third thing to know is oil heads for weekly gains of 9%. Oil prices move higher on Friday as another monthly report pointed to tightening markets. OPEC and its allies appear to have accomplished their mission of bringing global oil stocks to desired levels, the International Energy Agency said in its monthly report released Friday, predicting that inventories should drop to their 5-year average, a metric used by OPEC to measure the success of output cuts by as early as May. The fourth thing to know is consumer confidence is in focus. On Friday's economic calendar, traders will focus on the preliminary reading of consumer sentiment for April to be released by the University of Michigan at 10 a.m. Eastern. The index is expected to drop to 100.6 from 101.4 registered in March. That was its highest level since 2004. And the fifth thing to know today is China registers its first trade deficit in a year. Trade data released Friday showed that Chinese exports unexpectedly fell in March, causing the world's second largest economy to post its first trade deficit in dollar-denominated terms since February 2017. Specifically, China's trade deficit hit $4.98 billion in March, compared to their prior months of a $33.75 billion surplus. That was as its exports unexpectedly declined 2.7% on the year, compared to a forecast for a 10% gain. Imports rose 14.4%, beating expectations for a 10% advance. Our second story today is from MarketWatch.com. Oil wavers but set for its best week in 8 months, boosted by IEA report and Syria tensions. Crude oil futures turned lower early Friday, but we're still on track for the best weekly performance since July of last year, after days of being driven by fears of military conflict in Syria. A report from the International Energy Agency on Friday indicated that OPEC soon will have succeeded in reaching its target for reducing the global supply glut. West Texas Intermediate oil for May delivery lost 17 cents or 0.3% to reach $66.90 a barrel. For the week, the U.S. oil benchmark was set for a rally of nearly 8%, which would mark its best weekly percentage performance since late July of last year. Our third story today is from MarketWatch.com. Bitcoin extends rise, jumping around $400 in an hour. The price of Bitcoin jumped again on Friday, jumping nearly $400 in an hour, as the cryptocurrency looks set to close out the week with a gain of over 20%. The digital currency, Bitcoin, was up 2.1% to $8,083.27, pushing it to fresh multi-week highs. Bitcoin surged to a 2-week high on Thursday of $8,055.20 and finished that session up 11% to $7,705.21. Thursday's action also marked the biggest intraday move since February 6th, when the cryptocurrency saw a move of 29.4%. Around 3 a.m. Eastern on Friday, Bitcoin went from $7,813.41 to $8,171.58 over the space of an hour. And that has held on to the bulk, and it has held on to the bulk of that move. Our final story today is from MarketWatch.com. Dollar strikes 6-week high against the yen as risk-on mindset returns, and the dollar softens against other rivals. The dollar gained against haven currencies on Friday, including reaching a 6-week high against the Japanese yen, as caution over an imminent Western military intervention in Syria eased, and anticipation for a solid round of U.S. corporate earnings helped support the U.S. unit. Mixed trade against other major rivals, however, left the leading dollar index slightly lower on the day and on track for a roughly 0.5% drop for the week. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is news that you can use for today, Friday, April 13. Your Options News Rundown. I'm Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart. Have a good weekend and good luck today.
Thank you for listening to the Options News Rundown. To learn more about these stories or any other developments from the world of options, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com, the premier source for free options information. The Options News Rundown is brought to you by Market Taker Mentoring, the leader in option trader education. Get trader education, daily trade ideas, and more with a free 1-week trial of Market Taker Mentoring's live Advantage group coaching class by visiting markettaker.com/insider.
The preceding program was a production of the Options Insider Radio Network. For more quality options programs, visit www.theoptionsinsider.com or search for Options Insider Radio Network in your podcast provider of choice. Listeners can also access all of our programming through our mobile app, available in iTunes and on Google Play. Don't forget to follow along with your favorite programs and submit your own questions for the hosts at twitter.com/options, facebook.com/theoptionsinsider, or via questions@theoptionsinsider.com.